Want to know what to look for when you're doing your first inspection of the year? Then watch this video. Hello, Gruffydd here, welcome to Gwenyn Gruffydd. Here we talk everything beekeeping, farming, countryside living, and we do reviews as well. Now today we're going to do our first inspection on the hives. We're going to go through the brood box, do a light inspection, make sure everything's fine. There's no need to disturb the bees too much today. And I'm just going to show you, give a commentary of what I'm looking for and what I'm doing when we open this hive up. Now just a note, last time I checked this hive was probably December, January. It's now just first week into April and the dandelion is out, so it's about time we get the supers on the bees and get them ready to start making some honey. So I'll put the veil on and let's get into it. Alright, always make sure smoker is well lit and you've got plenty of smoke coming out. So right there, take the lid off, turn that upside down, put it there. Alright, first thing we can see, I've got a measure in here that allows for giving happy guard, etc, placing fondant in there. That does happen sometimes. The bees fill that little bit up with comb. But that's okay, we can sort that later on. That's just more wax for me to melt later on, so it's never a bad thing really. I will crack the crown board up and you can see the bees are coming on well. So just give that a shake, make sure there's no, the queen isn't on there, so if she is, she falls back into there. I will place that there. Now over the winter, especially when you're feeding, the bees tend to put wax over everything. So all I'm going to do now, all this extra wax comb here, we're just going to smoke it down and then scrape off and throw it there. Scrape it down, throw it there. Because all the honey that's left on this, we're going to put back on top of the crown board and the bees can have that honey back, because I don't want that honey now, that's honey for the bees. So just gently smoke them. You don't want to be killing the bees when you're scraping the wax off. Push them back down into the hive and that just comes off really easy. And you're surprised, you get a kilo of beeswax doing this to every hive in no time. Because you don't want to leave that there, that's just going to interfere with your clean excluder later on. Good, right there. You don't need to do a full inspection today unless you really want to find the queen and mark the queen. In another video I'll go through all that queen marking, that's a whole other video. But I'm just going to show you as a bee farmer how I do my first inspection. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for eggs, I'm looking for brood, and I don't want to see any queen cells. As long as all that's there, I'm going to be closing this hive back up, putting the super on, moving on to the next one. That's done for this week. Once the supers are on, then we start to do full inspections every week. I'll do another video on the full in-depth inspection. This is just the first early spring one. So we start at the end, frame, crack that open. That should be, you can see the fresh honey there. So everything's sealed, that could be feed or honey, but everything that's not sealed, that's definitely honey. So we've definitely got a little bit of a honey flow on early. Shake the bees off there. I didn't see the queen there. But every time you take a frame out and you put it to the side, always shake the bees off just in case the queen is there, because you wouldn't want the queen coming off there running onto the ground. Very important tip that is. So we'll just pop this back, move that out the way. Same with this one, move it out the way until we get into some brood. Plenty of fresh eggs on there. Lovely. It's exactly what we want to see. Queen is firing on all cylinders, laying up the frames. Oh, there's not many drone at the minute here. On that frame there you can see there's a lot of drone brood there. So in a few weeks time, swarming might be an issue here. Plenty of seal brood there, seal drone brood and worker brood. Lovely colour on the wax. It's exactly what we want to see. The bees are shining, they're very quiet. That's how we like it. Now, I can tell straight away this hive's healthy. The queen is there. There's old brood, seal brood, and there's fresh eggs. So everything we need to see, we've already seen it. I'll just take this one other frame out. Most of that seal brood. We've got some open brood down the sides there. We've got some bees carrying pollen in. Yeah, everything's looking great in here. No, I'm not going to disturb the bees anymore. That's all I need to see today, this week. No, they're not going to swarm. There's not enough drones in there. Unless I want to find the queen and mark the queen today, there's no other reason for me to carry on with this inspection. You're just disturbing the bees too much. Least is more when it comes to hive inspections. The more you're interfering with the bees, the less productive they are, the more you're bothering them. So the quicker you can go in and go out, the better it is. So I'll just put these frames back how they were. We'll drop this frame back in there. Move that out the way. We'll grab a queen excluder. Put that queen excluder down there. Got a nice super. If you notice, that's a slightly different frame. That's a commercial size. We've got a national underneath, but they're all compatible. That's the beauty with national and commercial hives. It doesn't matter, the two of them are the same dimensions apart from the frames. But nationals are nicer to use because the lugs on these are much smaller. Now all that wax on the floor that we just scraped off, put that in a ball like that, place that down the same way it was. We'll just leave that there, spread it out like that. When we come back next week, the bees have taken all the honey off this comb and we'll have some great beeswax to melt. Put the lid back on, just move that out the way because that's going to sit like that. And once the bees are in the super, they've got some fresh supers to work on. The honeybees will forget about all that and I can melt that down as well. Or if I was really fussy, I'd scrape that off, shake it in, and I'd take that back with me. But I'm going to do that next week when there's less bees up under the roof. And there we go. That's it. That's how easy your first inspection should be. Now, if there's no eggs and there's no queen early in the season, that's probably going to be it for that hive. That hive's just going to die out. There's no drones about. You can't place eggs in because they're not going to. The queen's not going to be able to mate because there's no drones. Give it 2 or 3 weeks and we will be able to fix all those kinds of problems. But unfortunately, if there's no eggs in your hive now in April, no brood, nothing, no queen, unfortunately that hive has had it. But this hive's done alright. It's gone through the winter. Queen is firing all cylinders, laying eggs very well. and that's it. That's all you got to do for your first inspection, because less is more. Okay, there's a lot of people out there, they want to inspect the bees all the time. You don't need to. Your bees are going to be making a lot more honey for you the less time you spend inside the hive. Okay, that is crucial tip there. Okay, the less time you spend in the hive, the more honey the bees will make to you. Because I've just messed up all the frames in there, the bees are going to spend a lot of time putting all that back to the way it was perfectly. They're a bit OCD when it comes to that kind of thing, so they're going to lose a few hours of productive time today, but that's okay. So stay tuned to the video. I'm going to show you everything from how to split hives, mark and clip queens, doing your full inspections, anything to do with beekeeping. Stay tuned. I'm going to put it on my channel. I try to put up a new video every week, so stay tuned. Now if you want to stay in touch with me, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on all of those social media platforms. You can contact me there, message, comment on my photos. I get back to everybody that does that. Now if you want to follow more of me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell button so you get notified of when my new videos get published. Thanks for watching.